Hi guys, my name's Seb Tudor, I'm the man on the Silver Mountain and welcome back. Today, following on from my kind of introduction to this relationship and romantic relationships kind of topic, I wanted to move on into one of the most important things that happen that you need to keep an eye on in all the relationships that you have, regardless of which one they are. And I've talked about this topic a lot in regards to general things and in regards to other more specific things, but ultimately that is the responsibility that you have in relationships and the things that you should be paying attention to. And there are just four points to go through, and it has a net positive result at the end. So the first thing is, you need to take control through of the situation, of your situation, especially in relationships, through reality, through realism. Again, I've talked about this a huge amount already on this channel, and what it comes down to is, if you are realistic, if you have a good grasp on the ins and outs of the real world, the objective world, then what you can do is you can take control of your situation through that, because you will know, for instance, realistically, that you have control over this sphere of things, but have no actual control over this sphere of things. And as a result, you know what you can affect, you know how you can, interact with those things. And as a result, especially within a relationship, if you know what you are responsible for, if you know what you have within any kind of realistic reach, then that's fine. And as a result, everything is fine. You know where the boundaries are. You know what you need to be saying and doing and working on to make that work. Which leads us on to the second point, which is know if it's actually your problem. As I said, if you know where your boundaries are, then you know what's yours and what isn't. And so you know where the problems are. One of the things that has been brought up to me by several different people so many different times is, obviously, when you're in a relationship, you want to help the other person. You want to, and if that other person has a problem, you want to get involved and solve that for them because you care about them. The thing is, that isn't always the best and most helpful thing to do. That's at times very, very harmful, because you'll go in not knowing everything about the situation that person is in, and you'll go in and you'll try and fix it, and what you will end up doing is only making the situation worse. Now, if you know that it's their problem, and you can go to them and go, can I help? In which case, you know what you can interact with, because they can tell you what you can interact with, what can slip over from their sphere into your sphere, so that you can, deal with it or help them with it. And if they just go, no, it's my thing to deal with, but it'd be nice if you're around just to talk about it sometimes, then you know that the most you need to do is sit there and talk with them about it, give them a place to bounce their ideas around and whatever else. If they go, oh god, yes, I need you, I really need some help with dealing with this for doing the research on this, and then I could really use your help with coming and actually talking to my boss, because you know about these things and I know a bit about these things, and it'd be really helpful to come and deal with that. That's a different matter. That's you're being given permission, and you're being handed those things to actually start fixing that. More often than not, I see the former case rather than the latter, where people will happily deal with their own problems, but sometimes they might just need some support. And that's one of the reasons why you're in a relationship. It's the support, it's the caring, it's not the one person fixing all the problems, because that's also kind of an impossibility, because you're not purely taking over that person's life. But then, the next one comes along. Obviously, if you're in a relationship, especially in a romantic relationship, you got a lot of emotions flying around. People are emotional animals, and that's so many problems come from this. But as a result, in a relationship, when you're in a conversation and discussion and whatever, keep calm, get on with it. If you know what your problems are that you can deal with, and what theirs are that you can't deal with, then there's no point in getting stressed, there's no point in getting upset. You need to address the situation. There's enough time to give someone a cuddle and tell them that it'll be alright, and stop them from crying or getting particularly upset. There's there's enough time for that afterwards. Deal with the situation so that then you can relax. Yeah, it makes things just move more smoothly. And obviously sometimes it can be really hard to remain calm because of what is going on, but the person who controls your emotions is you, not your environment, not the people around you, only you. So you can keep yourself calm and you can address the situation first and then move forward. But then the last one, and this one's slightly off. I mean, it's to do with keeping calm to a degree, but it's slightly removed from the others, whereby, especially when the problem is between two people, accountability and responsibility, as this is what I'm talking about here, need to be there, but blame doesn't. Because there's a difference between holding someone accountable and someone being responsible and blaming everything on them. Yeah? Accountability allows for an acknowledgement of the causal factors that brought us to a situation. Blame then also takes that situation and dumps it on whoever contributed the largest number of causal factors to fix. If you're in a relationship, especially a romantic relationship, or if you're in any other kind of interaction whereby you are connected to more than one person, i.e. as part of a work team, there's no point in blaming. Take account of the causal factors, because obviously you need to know where the situation came from to know how to get out of it again. But otherwise, focus on solutions, focus on moving forward. There's no point in blaming, because it only pulls you backwards. And as a result, with all of these four things, it's a happier time for everyone, really. If you're in control, if everyone is independently within their relationships in control, they know where their problems are and the things that they can interact with, and where everyone else's problems are and the way that they can interact with them, that they're calm and they just trundling on, getting on with it. And when something does go wrong, you're not blaming, you're just taking account and moving forwards. Yeah? Happier time for everybody. It can be difficult to do, and it can require some practice to kind of get into the habit of just rolling with the punches and knowing where your boundaries are. But again, it's not impossible. It's by no means damaging to you just to take account of these things, and it allows you just to keep going. It allows everyone to be happy. It allows everyone to move forward. So, as said, responsibility, really important thing generally in life, but here there are some specific things that you need to be aware of, that you are responsible for, that you need to take responsibility for, take ownership of, just to make everything move more smoothly. And that's kind of where I want to leave it, guys. Let me know down in the comments, what do you guys feel are some of the really big responsibilities? I mean, I've talked in very broad strokes in regards to this video, but in your relationships, what do you feel that maybe everyone needs to take responsibility for? Or what are the things that you think are very specific that only maybe one person of a romantic relationship, for instance, needs to take responsibility for and control of? But yeah, let me know. It's interesting to hear what you guys are saying between one thing or another, as much as I'm receiving an awful lot more of the feedback through emails and private messages than I am through comments and things so far. But either way, please, if you found this at all interesting or useful or gave you something to think about, then please drop me a like, and otherwise please subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the video tomorrow. Take care, guys.